Last night's events haunted her, and her mind was in turmoil. She wasn't sure if she should approach Chad about what she'd seen last night or not. He was coming out to the farm today anyway, so maybe she'd just wait and see. "Time to do some work," she said to herself, but the dog beside them barked. "Oh, I know, fella. You're always ready for work." Fella looked up at her, tail wagging and eyes sparkling with mischief. He was a red cloud kelpie and had short brown fur. It was a colour he shared with Contractor, although Contractor had a big white blaze down his nose and white socks on his back legs. Her boys were a perfect pair, her best mates, and could read her moods better than her own mum. The farm's worker, Jimmy, had a dog too. Gypsy was Fella's sister, and both were only 2 years old, still just pups. Flick clicked her tongue and nudged Contractor on his way. With one hand on her hip and the other on the reins, she glanced back at the sun. The magic of the sunrise and all its amazing colours was nearly gone, leaving just the sun brightening a new long day. She'd seen many sunrises in her 20 years, but to her eyes they still got bigger and better every day. Contractor broke into a gallop, knowing they were headed back home and towards breakfast. Fella's lean body stretched out alongside them, his tongue flapping in rhythm with his strides. Flick leant forward in the saddle. "Come on, boy." The wind against her face was glorious and she felt safe on Contractor's powerful body. Her mum preferred the Honda motorbike, but Flick loved the strength of her horse and the fact that he would protect her. A bike would never go back to the house for help, no matter what her mum had to say about the benefits of her Honda. But then again, Toni had always been a hard ass. As the farmhouse came into view, Flick dropped Contractor back to a walk. Fella was racing to catch up, breathing heavily but tail still wagging madly. Flick spotted Maggie's plump bum as she bent over her herbs in the veggie patch next to the house. The Stewarts were known throughout the district for having a thriving vegetable garden. Nan was always giving away armloads of produce to anyone who visited. You name it, they grew it. Olive trees, smaller than the huge ones over by the old house, edged the garden. Every year they bottled up jars and jars of olives. People put in orders for them, and for good reason. They were delicious. "Morning, Nan," Flick said as she approached. Maggie stood up. She was wearing her favourite apron. It was faded blue gingham with a white pocket at the front, where she tucked her pair of scissors. She picked up the basil and parsley she'd just snipped. "Hello, my darling. How was the sunrise this morning?" "Absolutely glorious. I saw the wedge-tailed eagle back by its nest. I'll have to keep a closer eye on the lambs in that paddock." Maggie nodded. Her face was wrinkled and dotted with age spots, her soft grey hair pulled back into a neat practical bun. She was fine-boned and petite, with the exception of her rear end. Maggie said her backside was her storage tank in case the depression ever hit again. Flick could see the traces of her Nan's beauty, and the proof was in the old photos. She'd been a stunner in her day. Grandad had always said he was the luckiest man alive on the day she married him. He had lost the use of his legs in a farming accident long before Flick was born, so he'd got around either in his wheelchair, on the motorbike, or in the converted ute. Never had he walked the farm with them or strolled through the crops of an evening, but he'd always been around, overseeing the farm, until he passed away 4 years ago. "Hurry up and put Contractor away," Maggie said. "I'll have brekkie ready in a few minutes. And if you see Jimmy in your travels, can you let him know, please?" "Sure, Nan." Flick headed towards the horse shed and locked Contractor away. "There you go," she said, handing him his wide plastic bucket of mixed feed. Flick kissed his long nose, put the saddle away and ran back to the house. Fella ran beside her, glancing up excitedly as if to ask, "What are we chasing?" Fella was clearly disappointed when they got to the veranda and Flick pulled off her boots. No boots meant no play. His head dropped as he flopped down.